Hi, it's Stephen here at Bland Designs, and today I'm just going to sort of let the tape roll, so to speak, because I'm going to do an experiment with all of this stuff and deli paper. I saw a YouTube video where they were doing some jelly plate printing on deli paper, and I thought I'd give it a shot. Now, one thing about deli paper, I have heard deli paper called deli paper, I've heard it called freezer paper, I've heard it called unwaxed wax paper. All these things I've heard it called, but I live in Canada. I live in Ontario, Canada, and I have a difficult time trying to find deli paper. In fact, the deli paper I'm using today, someone from the store that I work in knew that I was looking for deli paper and got a whole bunch of it down in the States somewhere and brought me up a roll. Thank you for that. So if anybody knows who's watching this video and live in Canada and know where I can get this paper, deli paper, freezer paper, unwaxed wax paper, whatever it's called, send me an email, let me know, because I want to get more of it. So having said that, I have a whole pile of stuff here that I'm going to play with. So I've got my sprayers for, of course, rolling out the paint. Put those over to one side. And I've got some paint. Now, I'm going to limit myself to the colors because sometimes I get carried away with colors and I add a whole lot and I end up with mud. So I'm just using some really cheap Liquitex basic paints. Cheap, I mean inexpensive to buy. I don't mean that the quality of the paint is cheap. It's not necessarily as high a professional grade as some people might use, but it does the job for this. So let's put those over to the side. Now this could be a very long video, and if it is, what I'm going to do is probably speed it up at certain stages of this when I do the editing. I got some stencils out, and I just grabbed some that are interesting, and I got them in a couple of sizes. So I have this one, I have this one, and I have this great big one that's got a variety of shapes on it. So we'll see what we'll do with that. Put that to one side. I've got some catalyst tools for making designs. Those over to the side. And then I've got a whole mess of jelly plates, and I have mounted these on acrylic plates because I'm going to use them sort of like as a stamp this time. As opposed to laying my paper down on top of them and rubbing it in, I'm going to take them, flip them over, because they do stick to acrylic plates very nicely. By the way, you'll notice this big one I have here, and I have another smaller acrylic plate here. These came from England, from a site called Clarity Stamps. If you've never checked out their videos on YouTube, you really should. Barbara, who's the owner of the company, does a video pretty much every week, and she focuses a lot on jelly plates, although she does rubber stamping and painting and all kinds of beautiful work. Her work is beautiful. But her company makes these plates, and they're great. I wish I'd ordered more at the time. My problem is they're coming from England. I can't get them from a wholesaler or a retailer in North America. At least I haven't been able to find one yet. And the shipping just about knocks you out. For example, I ordered about what's the equivalent of 60 pounds of different things, not just these, but some other things, stencils and stencil holders and that kind of thing from her some time ago. And 60 pounds at the time with our Canadian dollar exchange worked out to approximately $130 Canadian money. And then on top of that, I had to pay customs and duty and shipping. So it ended up costing me about 160 bucks, which was almost double of what the actual products cost. So unfortunately, that's what the price you have to pay if you're going to get them from her. They're good quality, excellent stuff. I just wish that someone would pick her up, or she'd had somebody out here selling things at wholesale or whatever. So I've got the rounds. And the rounds come in 3 different sizes. This is the 8-inch, this is the 6-inch round, this is the 4-inch round, and they just came out with a whole set of minis, and it looks like they now have a 2-inch round. So I've mounted that on just a stamp block, an acrylic block, as I did with the Hexagon one. The minis actually come in 6 different shapes. There's also a triangle, there's an oval, there's a small rounded rectangle, and a rounded corner square. You can see I bought them all. I'm in love with jelly plates. Okay, so I'm just moving things off here, and I think, oops, I'm stuck. By the way, I do most of these videos in one take. I do not start the tape over unless something horrible happens. So you're going to see what I see as it happens. And I have no idea what's going to happen here. Okay? So this is my deli paper right down here. Oops, came loose. Told you see the mistakes that I make. I've kind of put it down to my non-stick craft sheet, and I'm putting it down with repositionable tape. Now I'm just wondering if I need a little bit more tape, and I'm going to get a little bit more. Because I have a feeling when I put this down, this is going to pull up. So I'm just going to stick it down well. The reason I'm sticking it down is because I'm going to be stamping on it. So, you know, I want the surface of this to stay put. Okay, we'll see what happens. One more piece just for good luck. There we go. Okay. Alright, so my jelly plate on my pad. Here we go. What color will we use first? Okay, the colors that I picked were blue, yellow, and this pinky color. And I also picked a white just in case things go terribly wrong. You can always lighten up with a little white. Alright, so I think I'm going to get started with the blue or the yellow. Let's use the yellow. Let's start with the yellow. So, now these are brand new tubes. Just got them not too long ago. So, let's do just a basic color lay down to start with. And I forgot to have my scratch piece of paper. Oh, wait. Here we go. I'm going to take the scratch piece of paper up here. It'll be a little bit out of camera shot, but that's okay. That's what I'm just going to clean my brayer off with. And it's on deli paper I'm using as well. So basically, I've got another print happening here. Okay, let's use the catalyst tools. But before I do that, I'm going to grab a baby wipe. Have it handy. Okay, let's draw a little design right in here. This is why I have the baby wipe. Just going to get the paint off before it dries. Okay, let's do some stamping. Let's do a ghost one down here. Okay, one thing I didn't think about is where am I going to lay down these to my pad. Okay, I got a couple of things there. Let's add... Actually, I'm going to... We should do these things in odd numbers, I've been told before, so let's see. I'm going off the paper as well. Now, I don't think this one's going to come out as heavy. No, it didn't. Okay, but that's because dries pretty quick. Alright, so let's lay down, let's continue with the yellow, but let's just put this one aside and let's use the 6-inch. Where did I put the 6-inch? There it is. Okay, let's try the 6-inch. I'm going to stick with yellow. Oops, I may have put too much paint on that. And I did. So I'm just going to take some off. Oh, there you go. I turned off the speaker on my computer so I wouldn't get interrupted, and I forgot about the clock. Oh well, adds a little ambience in the background. Okay. Well, let's use one of the other catalyst tools and let's just go... I'm making it up as I go along, folks. Paper's curling up. My tape is not holding well on this. Okay. So pull everything down a little bit, maybe a little off the shot, but I need the space. Okay, so I've got some yellow there. Just clean off some residue right there. Not much came off. Okay, then let's go with, let's grab the big one again. That's interesting. A little bit of moisture there. I don't know what happened. Okay, let's try the blue. No, let's go with the pink. Okay, another catalyst tool. Stick it right in the middle. That's interesting. And you can see my tape did not stick very well. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit off the page here. A little bit off the page here. Still got some on here, maybe just a teensy bit over here. And maybe just a bit. I need a bigger space. Okay. Alright, what do I want to do next? Okay, so I've got that. Let's go to the 6-inch. Let's continue with a little pink. Okay, things do stick to the deli paper, I'm finding. And my idea of taping it down really did not work very well. Okay, well, we're not going to worry about that too much. Okay, another catalyst tool. And let's go here. Let's go up here. And let's go over here. And I don't think I've got much left, so I'll go here. Okay. Alright, so I've got kind of a background happening here, so maybe next we're going to go with the 4-inch. And let's get out our blue. Now, what do I do with the 4-inch? I want a different pattern. I'm done with the catalyst tools. Why don't we try stencil? Okay, well, let's put down our color first. Oops, I'm sticking to that. It wasn't completely dry. Okay, let's get out a stencil. Where did I put the stencils? Right here. So let's try this one. Try that, and let's do a little blotting. So I need a little blotting paper. I'm going to use a piece of copy paper I just pulled out of my printer. Lay this down, give it a gentle rub. That may have been too much. Well, let's see here. Well, that's kind of neat. I don't think there'll be enough to do another stamp. Nope, not really. Okay, but let's put down some more blue and do that again. Blotted quite as much as I did last time. Okay. Okay, I got even number. Well, if you don't count the ghost. I don't know, I think I'll put one up there. Do this one more time. Okay, this is kind of looking kind of neat, starting. Alright, so let's see, what else can we do? Well, let's use one of the little guys. Actually, let's use, no, use the 2-inch circle. I'm keeping to the circles here. And let's use, let me try a little white. Okay, and let's take this stencil, let's lay it here, and we'll stamp through the stencil. Actually, I'm going to add more white. I'm just going to leave the stencil where it is. Again, I think I've got too much paint on this. Got a little bit around the edge. Okay. Alright, let's see what we got out of that. That had a little texture. I think I want to put a little bit more maybe over here too. So let's get that one back out again. Now you can see that the Deli paper is kind of got a bit of a translucent quality to it. I'm thinking what I'll do with this afterwards is I'll cut it up and use it as embellishments on other projects. Okay. Now, this is the hexagon. Not sure what I want to do with it. And what color should I go? I think I'm going to add a little bit more blue. And this time I think I got enough on there. I think I better put a little bit more. Let's see. I'm going to take this big stencil again. I'm going to lay it down, but I'm going to use the brayer on this. Let's see what happens. That's kind of interesting. Okay. More blue. I think I want a little bit more blue up there. Which I think will do the same thing as I just did. There's a little bit of residue on the edges of this, and if I kind of rock it, I get a bit of a line, which is not bothering me. Also cleans off the jelly plate a little bit. Alright. Where do I want to go from here? This is starting to look pretty good. Okay. Maybe I should try a totally different shape. Everything I've got has curves in it. Let's try the triangle. The triangle's got sort of a curved edges on it too, so what color do I need more of? A little more, oh, okay. Let's get experimental here. Let's take the yellow and let's take the blue. What's yellow and blue give me? Green. Yeah, it gives me green. Just leave it that mottled effect on there. Okay, and then, you know, kind of liking, I'm just going to try it just like that. Okay, maybe put some more of that down. A little yellow, a little blue, didn't have as much paint on it this time. Okay. Now, I think I want to keep this all in sort of the roundy shapes. So I think I'll put the oval on. And let's see. I'm going to use just yellow this time. Oops. Again, I think I put it on a little thick. Yeah, I did. So thin that out. Got a little green mixed in, or a little blue mixed in there, so I've got green, but that's okay. I'm not going to worry about that. And I think I'll use a catalyst tool. And let's go to that. Okay, I'm going to do this again. Okay, just kind of shaping up kind of cool. Now, what do I want to do next? Now this is the part where you got to say to yourself, okay, is that enough or do I need more? I've got some deli paper poking through up here and a little bit down here, so I think I need something more up there, but color-wise, yellow, pink, let's say, I'm going to stick with the yellow again. I'm going to stick with this one. And let's see, I'm just going to take a pencil. And I'm just going to use the eraser part and dot into it. Oh, a little left over here, maybe I'll just, yeah, that didn't really do a heck of a lot, but I thought I'd try. Okay, let's see, let's go off the page a little bit. Okay, what's it need? A little more blue, maybe? Maybe up in here. Ooh, there's something. Okay, that's a blue-green. I'm not even going to put anything in it. I'm just going to stamp it. Oops, kind of slid off the end there. And now I'm thinking I need just a little bit more up there. And I think I'll stick with the blue. Okay, what do we think? Well, when I cut this up into other little pieces and put them on something, I think that's enough. I think that's where I'm going to stop at this. So, there you go. I don't know what you think, but I kind of like it. Needs to dry a little bit more. Oh, and here, the scrap piece that I've been wiping my brayer off on. This is what it's looking like. That's kind of neat too. I got a few wrinkles in that, and actually I'm thinking, you know, if I take this and scrunch it up after it's dry, make a really neat little piece of texture too on, say, a mixed media journal page. Okay, so there was my experiment with Gelli Plates using the rounds and the new minis and using it on deli paper. And in the future I'll try to make a video showing you what I actually did with this final piece on another project. Okay? See you later. Okay, I've decided that I'm not done yet. I got thinking, why don't I add some more texture to this, but instead of using Gelli Plates, let's use some textured background stamps. So I have 3, and I'm keeping them in the round, in the curved kind of idea, because that's what I've been using throughout the background. And I'm not so sure which inks may or may not be repelled by the acrylic paint on the deli paper. So to be on the safe side, I'm going to use Stays On in colors. So I've got a green, I've got sort of a plummy, purpley red, and I've got a blue. So let's try the plummy colored first, and I'm going to use it with this rubber stamp, which's got kind of a, I don't know what you call that, but it's kind of cool. So let's see. Now these stamps are actually manufactured by our store, Class Act in Oshawa. You can go online though and you can order them. So if you go to classact.ca, you'll be able to find these mixed media stamps is what they're called, and you can order them and they can be mailed to you if you're interested in them. And I'm just sort of randomly applying this to different spots. Oops, okay, I'll put it there. That's good. Kind of chose its own spot. Okay, now let's grab another one. Let's go for blue this time, and let's do this one. It's got sort of a little swirly pattern to it. I'm going to use the blue Stays On. Okay, and let's do this stamp. Again, the circles within circles. And let's use the Emerald City, it's called, Stays On. Okay, I think that'll do for now. So I've added another dimension here by putting the rubber stamp impressions on. Just had an idea about that though. I'll be back. Okay, I was talking before about maybe adding some script on here, but then I found this stamp that I have. I've had this for quite a while. It's got sort of a scripty background. It's got some butterflies and some flowers, and I thought I'll just do that in plain ordinary black ink. I'm using Archival by Ranger for this. Again, it's a more permanent ink. And I don't know, put it there. Don't know if that's going to work because really, that didn't look like it showed up. So maybe this isn't going to work. Give it a better press. No, that's not showing up at all. I wonder if it's the ink. Could be. Well, I've got some stays on black here, so let's try a little stays on. Nope. This stamp does not want to show up. Interesting. Maybe this is telling me something. Like, maybe I should stop when I'm ahead. I don't know. I don't really want to give up on it, but maybe I should. Okay. I'll come back. Okay, I'm back. And what I did was I took a script stamp and I just used some black ink. I found some ink that would actually work on this, and I just stamped all over it. And it's very subtle. Some parts it came out on, others not so well. I don't know if you can see that in the background. It's very subtle. There's a little bit of script in spots of it. So now, I never know when to quit. I got another idea. I love this stencil by Tim Holtz. It's these like stains and splatters and everything. It's actually called Splatters, and it's THS009. And I'm going to use that, and I'm going to use some of his Distress ink. Now, I'm not sure how the Distress ink is going to take on this, because Distress ink is activated by water, and anything that's kind of, you know, shiny, it might come off on. If it does look like it's going to come off, I think when I'm finally finished this, I'm going to spray it with a final fixative, and that should seal everything. So I'm going to use the frayed burlap, and I'm just going to put this in a few spots. I was going to use black, but I thought maybe that would be too dramatic. This might be more subtle. And maybe that's too subtle. I am not seeing it on here at all. I don't think. Let me try down here. Not really. That's really not coming out. Okay. Let's go with black then. So let's try black soot. Let me just grab it. Okay, black soot. And let's go back up here where we were before. Yeah, that's there. Yeah, it's adding a little texture. Let's try one of these down here. Yeah, that's working. Again, it's just another layer, and it's going to add some depth to this. Let's get something down here. You see, I'm not using the whole stencil. I'm just doing pieces of it. Okay. Maybe a little splat up here. Okay. Okay, I just can't resist. I got to put one more here because actually this is kind of fun to do. Yeah, I think one right here. Okay, I think I'm done. I think we're going to leave this as it is. Now, that, I was thinking of cutting it up. But you know, now I'm thinking of other possibilities here. I could use this to cover a journal as a cover page. I could use this on a canvas as a background. And I might do that. I might put it on a canvas as a background. As opposed to cutting it all up. I don't know. I'll let you know. Okay, I am done. So you can see here, this is all done on deli paper. What's the back of this look like? Much more subtle. It doesn't go all the way through, and that's fine. But it definitely, I can see this, it's almost like a tissue paper with this stuff on it. So you could use it like a tissue paper as well. You could use it, cut it in strips, and use it as washi tape. All kinds of possibilities with this, and it's kind of fun to do. So, there you have it.